Hello and thank you for tuning in to Millennium Movies. So the very first reactions to It Chapter 2 have made their way online as it has been screened for many film critics out there. And basically we're just going to go over the positives and negatives that I've seen out there from initial reactions from critics and just fellow fans who have gotten so lucky enough to see an early screening of It Chapter 2. So let's start off with one of the things that really caught my attention that is really universal right now, which is that Bill Hader appears to be the standout in the cast. People are saying that he really steals every scene that he's in. And apparently, Richie Tozier is a very different character than he is in the novel. So I'm very curious as to what changes they're going to make with this character. I'm very interested. I'm intrigued. I can't wait to see what they do with Richie. Bill Hader is awesome. So I think that he probably is gonna nail this performance as Richie Tozier, and I have no reason to believe that he isn't awesome in this movie like people are saying. I have also seen people mention James Ransom as a second place MVP, if you want to say, but really the consensus seems to be that everyone of the both adult and young cast delivers a good performance. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that they're saying that the heart is still there, and at its core, this story is about friendships. So apparently, the chemistry takes a while to get started, but the adult chemistry does deliver. Maybe not so much to the same extent as the younger Losers Club, but I think it still holds true where it still feels like the same characters. Is what I'm thinking. Is what I'm kind of guessing from what people are putting out there. I've seen a lot of praise as well as the negatives too as to how Andy Muschietti weaves together the old and young cast of Losers. So for me, this is a good thing. You know, I want to see more of the Young Losers Club, and the fact that, you know, getting new scenes with them, getting flashbacks, stuff that we didn't see in Chapter 1, little moments that define who these characters are. It means a lot to the story. It means a lot to their characters. You need to do it. So I have no problem with seeing a lot more of the Young Losers Club. As a matter of fact, one of my fears was that we weren't going to get enough of the Young Losers Club. They're such a fantastic part of the first film that I don't understand why you wouldn't want to have more of them. So it's good to hear that they do have a lot more than I think some of us, myself especially, were expecting. One thing that I've also been seeing is that the set pieces are much grander this time around, and it feels much more like an epic, meaning a lot more wild and imaginative stuff from the book is probably getting adapted in this movie. Stuff like The Ritual of Chud. If you've read the novel, you know how just weird and ultra crazy that is. But again, I'm hoping that we get crazy and weird. You know, I want that. I want something that makes this different from every other horror movie out there. And the novel, is different from every other horror story out there. It's so unique. It's so out there. It's so crazy. It's so weird, and that's why I love it. So now I'm going to be talking about some of the negatives that I've been seeing out there about It Chapter 2. And again, we want to remember that film is subjective. So regardless of what these critics or just fans, or not so much fans, but just the regular going audiences think, you know, it's okay to disagree with them if you have a differing opinion, because I mean that's the whole point of film, is to get your own take on it. You can't count on what me or what any other critics or other people say. I mean, it's okay to disagree with people. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is critically loved, and I really don't like that movie. I really don't. I have no problem telling you I don't like Into the Spider-Verse. But hey, I'm in the minority. That's fine. I know that I'm also in the minority for movies that I like. For example, I love Tron Legacy, the 2010 version of Tron. A lot of people didn't like that movie. It's got like really bad ratings. It's got really bad reviews. But I love that movie. What can I say? So I'm getting a little bit off track there, but going into some of the negatives I've seen a lot of people complaining about the runtime, saying that the movie's too long and they could have shaved off about 15 to 20 minutes. Well, I don't know if I agree with that. We're gonna have to wait and see again when this movie comes out, you know, because to me, you have to serve these characters well. You have to serve the story well. This is 1,000-page long novel. There is a lot going on with it, both as adults and as losers. And it's not just the losers themselves. There's so many other side characters too that play an integral role in the story. And Pennywise himself is such a grand and just exemplary villain. You know, I think that if anything, there's not enough runtime to go around. Honestly, I wouldn't have any problems with like a 6 hour, 7 hour long It movie, right? I mean, me personally, I think it serves better as a miniseries, anyways. A modern miniseries, not like the 1991. That's not the same thing I'm talking about. One of the things I'm also seeing is that people have been talking about the fact that some of the rules and powers surrounding Pennywise and how to combat him isn't explained well. I know the book is very weird, and so I anticipate that that's probably what we're going to be getting in the second half of the movie, which is something we don't really see in Chapter 1. In Chapter 1, they play Pennywise pretty much more straightforward. Yes, he takes the shape of everything that you fear, but it's pretty as simple as that. There's nothing. They don't delve deeper into the fact that he is this interdimensional being who came here hundreds and thousands of years ago, right? So, you know, I'm looking forward to seeing the weirdness that they're going to be bringing to the Pennywise character and the powers he has and how he can be defeated. I think it's a lot of people, probably a lot of the normal going audiences, a lot of critics aren't ready for that. But hey, if it's not for them, it's not for them. And the final thing that I'm seeing is that apparently a lot of people are saying it's not as good as Chapter 1. And it doesn't stick the landing quite as well as that movie does. Well, Chapter 1 is a damn near perfect film. Not just a horror flick. I mean, it's an exemplary horror flick. But it is a damn near perfect film, in my opinion. So, when you have a movie that's that good, it's hard to follow that up. It really is. And I don't expect Chapter 2 to be as great as Chapter 1. I've seen Chapter 1 at least 50 times. That is not a lie. I've seen that movie at least 50 times while I'm writing and doing other things. But, with Chapter 2, I do expect it to still be a great movie, where I think Chapter 1 is a perfect 10. I think that Chapter 2 could be in that same ballpark, you know, as a 9, a 9.5, maybe even a 10. I don't know, maybe I'm looking this in a really biased point of view. You could say that, and maybe you'd be right, because this is my favorite story of all time. I love the It novel. Heck, I love the 1990 miniseries. I know it's bad. I know it doesn't hold up as well, but I love it. I've seen It Chapter 1. I own it on DVD, and I've seen it 50 times. I just love this story. So, these are the early reactions that are out right now. I guess, really, all we have to do is wait and see what happens. You know, I'm looking forward to It Chapter 2. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you looking forward to this movie? Are you going to see it day one? Are you going to see it Thursday night? Let me know if you're going to see it opening night, because I'm going to try to, but who knows if I'll be able to make it that night. But yeah, again, if you want to stay up to date on all the latest going on in the world of movies and TV, especially horror, well, you're already in the right place, and consider subscribing, because I'd love to have you along for the ride. But until next time, guys, this has been Millennium Movies, and I will see you all very soon.